ate too much. Gotta loosen my pants a little bit. Stuffed pork chops and shit like that. Can't put my iPhone, new iPhone, can't put it down. It's like stuck to my hand. The black 32 gig. Can't stop doing things with it. Get this. Thank you guys for picking up Glitch. As some of you know, I've been doing this for quite a few years now, and it started out as like a simple kind of little move, and I realized how many applications it actually has and how versatile of a tool this actually is. It's basically like sleeving without sleeves, or with sleeves if you want. And it's not sleeving in the traditional sense, it's an open display visually vanishing. So it's really visual, and it's what magic should look like. I'll get into the basics, the basic move, the basic actual effect, mainly using coins. You can use other small objects, but coins is what we'll focus on. I'll show you that technique, give you some ideas on like how to like make it easier for yourself, how to practice, give you tips on angles, how many people to do it for, how to hold your hand, all that fun stuff. And then I'm going to also introduce you to some kind of, I guess you could say, gimmicks or accessories that help make this even better, and gives you like angle-proof options and different effects that you can do, and use it as a holdout and other fun stuff. We'll get to all that stuff in a moment, but for now I'm going to show you guys the basic technique of glitch. So this is the basic move of glitch. This is the essential technique that everything is built off of. So this is the basic move for glitch. This is essentially what you're going to do. You have the coin here, and you're just going to jump it right back just to that. And that's the side view, and it's going to stay right there. Like I said, you don't need an accessory for this, but I will get into that later. This is originally this isn't new. This part of your wrist for concealing a coin is not new. It was actually published in Bobo's. A man named Jimmy Buffalo used it as a holdout for a placement where he placed it under his watch as a vanish. There's also a man named Kurt Cochino from Utah. He has a DVD coming out called Barehanded. It might be out. I don't know if it's out yet. But he uses this to produce a coin from this area. Other people like Eric Jones have made great use of this particular display. And Garrett Thomas has an excellent cleanup with a short sleeve shirt from this type of position of the coin, where it essentially ends up. I personally am the first one to do it from the flat palm position with a jolt, and the instant vanish just happens open and visually. Other people would have to place it in some way or use two hands. So you might be wondering how it's stuck there at that moment. It's going to want to do this and slide down, which is okay if that's what you're going for. That's for a sleeving variation. But right now, I mean, if you have a little bit of saliva right on your wrist, when you jump it, it's going to stick there, just like that. And you have pretty good angles to work with. You also want to be aware of your temperature. If you're sweating a lot, it's going to do that inadvertently. It's going to stick to that position. If you are wearing a watch or an accessory, or your sleeve is up, which I'll get into later, you're going to want to make sure that you're dry and smooth and that there's no friction. I'll show you a couple of things to make sure that it slides freely on your skin and gets to where it needs to go. But that is the basic move for right now. This is the basic vanish of glitch. And that's the essential platform for everything else that you guys are going to learn. So I'll get into the accessories and angles in a moment. Okay, so as part of the basic technique, I'm going to show you exactly what to do, how to control your arm, your hand, how to hold it, and that way you can get the actual glitch technique, because it's an unorthodox thing. I mean, you're not used to going like this and like spazzing out. I mean, some of you might do that. But that's okay, nothing wrong with it. I mean, but most people don't do this naturally and enough to make a coin jump into a spot on your hand. So here's what you need to do. I'm going to step back a little bit. Imagine that you are a waiter carrying a tray. and you want to hold it so that tray doesn't fall. I mean, you don't want to be like this, everything's going to fall on you. You don't want to, be like off to the side or anything like this. It'll tip this way. You want to do this. You want to hold it like this. I actually like to do it. I'm standing up a little taller. I'm holding it lower for explanatory purposes right now, but I like to keep my palm about nipple height. For those of you who didn't know, my nipple is not as erect as it normally is. Normally I have nipples like that. No, I'm kidding. That's weird. Just got weird here in the studio. It's really weird. Feel that awkwardness now?
The crickets.
That's a washing machine, actually. So, it's in there. But this is how you want to hold it. I mean, if I could show you any more, this is what you want to do. You actually, to level your hand out, it's going to be uncomfortable. You could cheat a little bit too. You could cheat it down just like this. But just notice the positioning of my arm. Shouldn't be hard. Take a mental picture, put a quarter here, and look in the mirror, and you should have it, no problem. Now the actual jolt, the jolt that we're going to do, which is going to bring it down there, is, imagine there's no other way to say it than imagine just making that coin, and this is something you're going to have to feel out, make that coin jump, but instead of just jumping straight up like this, you want to make it jump back. You want to pop over that little hump right there. And that's just it's a little jerking motion with a little jolt forward at the same time. This is going to take practice, just like anything that's worth it. You got to practice a lot, but that's what you're going to do. There's a slight, you're going to tense all your muscles for a second, and you're going to push forward slightly. You want to get enough air under here to where your hand can get underneath there. And it shouldn't be hard. You start with a few hops, and then you're going to hit the ground a few times. You're going to have to adjust it. It's like tuning a guitar or focusing a camera. You're going to go over, under. You're going to pass it, and you're just going to find that sweet spot and get that into your muscle memory. If you're a different height, depending on your height, obviously your nipple isn't a good gauge for that. I mean, if you're really tall, they're just going to see the bottom or the top. You want to be at. If I imagine people in front of me, I do this all the time naturally. My arm goes here, and for me, I'm 6'2". This is fine for me. I mean, I could see like this right here, my nipple, which is this high. If you're a little shorter, you might want to just step back or pick up a little bit and adjust that, depending on the difference in size of the people that you're doing this for. But I've done this for tall people, short people, different ranges of people, fat people, skinny people. It's funny. I've done this for fat people. It sounds like it might be bad or offensive, but it's not.
No,
think about it.
It's not bad. You said fat people. It's just funny because you lumped it in with the height.
Yeah, I did. That was kind of Well, I love fat people. I love fat people. Nothing wrong with obese. Is that better? I just spit when I talk. So it's perfect. Not that being fat is not perfect. It's whatever. All right. No. I'm fat sometimes. I'm just offended everyone in the magic community. Oh man. All right, moving on. It just got awkward again, like the nipple thing that we were talking about before. Oh man. You guys just see me last night. Anyway.
Rare form.
So yeah, we got sidetracked here. We were doing the jerk, practice that, different heights, just find the height, and you've got a lot to work with. I mean, it's like, you think about it, you're neck tying it. As long as no one's above enough to see this part of your wrist, you should be fine.
So you can't do this for God?
No.
Okay.
If whoever your God may be, I don't want to offend anybody. Or whoever your God isn't, or whatever, but that's the essential. Practice that. I gave you everything I can. Watch the beginning again. Notice how I'm holding my hands. Notice the little spaz action I'm doing. Another thing I do want to add is when doing it, let's lather up here a little bit. You don't want to do that in front of them. Do that like on the sly if you're going to do it bare-armed, which I'd prefer not to do. you want, wash is done. It's still done. There we go. Laundry's done.
But I got a question for you real quick. How about with you, like if you cough?
Oh, sure.
Right?
Yeah. Or if you're just like, you know, you just do, or if you're hungry,
Yeah,
you don't know anything.
You're a zombie.
You're just, yeah, you can, as long as you do that. Or if you want to be smooth about it, you know, wipe your.
There's not a lot of fat zombies. I've never really.
What happened?
There's not a lot of fat zombies.
Fat zombies?
Yeah.
You figure with all the people they eat, there should be some fat zombies. They should be gaining the weight of the people they eat, but they manage to stay the same height and weight and size and everything. Wow, that's a good point.
Yeah, no bad thing.
Every zombie movie, you need to write that to, you know, directors, pay attention.
That's $1 million.
Pay attention right there, right? With Halloween just having had been. Glitch, yeah, I was about to make a point too. It was pretty important. What was it? What was I starting to do? I was going like this.
I said something about the.
Okay, I got that. Yeah. And then, what were we getting at? I was like, this is really important. And you started talking about fat zombies. So this. All right, we're gonna edit. We're probably gonna cut somewhere along the lines and then put it in as though it's just seamlessly into this thing. We'll find a spot for it. That's what I wanted. I remembered what I wanted to say last time. Okay. If you guys, we'll just cut this in. For you guys, for Glitch, because of this action, because it's such a kind of awkward jolting action. Something I do, it's subtle, but it kind of helps with this action. Instead of just spazzing out, I blow at the same time. It vanishes. I blow. It gives me a kind of a real subtle reason to bring my hand up a little bit. It's a larger action. There's more going on, so it's not just like it's. We're going to go over the angles right now for Glitch, okay? Jay's going to actually rock the camera around, and you can see when exactly you see it, when you don't see it. So I'm just going to kind of stick this puppy right there, which is where it's going to end up if you're doing the sleeved, the non-gimmicked version. But I'm going to stand here, and this is 12 o'clock right here. And this is the position that you're going to end up after you perform Glitch. So Jay's going to kind of swing around, starting here. And you can kind of get an idea of where the actual angles are. So.
Yeah, the best part about it, even right here,
right,
it's perfect.
Yeah, you can't see it because that mound right there.
Yeah.
That's something in mind too, because your angles are a little better favored in this direction too. Because you have this mound right here, as well as that thumb sticking up. So Jay's going to pass the camera to me, and I'm going to hold it with my left hand, I guess. I'm going to actually hold it with my right hand. And he's gonna walk around in front, and he's going to actually say when he sees it and when he doesn't. So from my point of view, I know exactly where. Can't drop this bait. Oh, shit. So here we go. Here we are.
Can't see it at all.
Of course. And then.
Can't see it. Can't see it. See it.
So where are you right now?
If
I'm a
4 o'clock.
That's 11 o'clock for me.
Oh, for you. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking up here.
So I would keep it safe at like 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
For the performer, and then come around this way.
So
you're still good.
So from about 11 and a half to 1.
1:30.
Yeah, maybe 1.
1:30 or between 1 and 2. I would call that.
Yeah.
I would call it.
Yeah.
We could say 1 to play it safe.
Yeah.
So 11
to 1.
To 1.
Yeah.
Which is a good amount of people. That's probably about.
You get a nice group over here.
4
Absolutely.
people.
Yeah.
I usually do it for. Take that. I usually do it for about 3 people at the most. If there's 4 people, just bunch them together. Come here so you guys can see this. Just get them in front and put them where you want them to be, and then that way you have that range of between 11, if you imagine, like you're the center of a clock, straight ahead of you is 12, and then it works backwards like a clock, like 11, 10, 1. So if you imagine that range right there in front of you, you could actually get a good idea. Alright guys, here are some of the common accessories that can help you with glitch and add to your arsenal and give you other options as far as like holding out a coin, retrieving a coin, vanishing, switching objects, stuff like that. Let's get to that now. You have your common watch. This watch is about the size of most average watches, the watch band anyway. This can help you. I'll go over that in a second. There's also a buckle strap thing. It's a strap. I guess people call it a bracelet, a strap. But these are available in different spots and different places. At the end of this, I'll find some spots online for you guys and give you guys some links as to where exactly I got this particular one if you want that, and some other spots that you can find similar things available. And also there is watch straps. These are pretty common now that are thick, just like this, which work just as well. The beauty about these ones is you can use these for larger objects like quarters and half dollars if you want to do with half dollars. This average watch, I've noticed that you have to use a smaller coin like a penny or a dime, which is just as good. That's actually how I started doing this a few years back, was on this actual watch here. And also, with these different things in mind, keep in mind while I'm talking about the size is also going to affect your glitch move. However big the object is or heavy it is, it's going to have a different weight, so it's going to respond differently to you doing this. So it's important that when you do it with a quarter, you kind of stick to a quarter for a little bit and the muscle memory gets down. Or if you're going to do it with a dime or a penny, stick to that. Like, don't pick one up and then think you're doing it with a dime and do it with a quarter, because you're gonna do like you're just gonna not. Well, actually, but you're not gonna do it like it's gonna respond differently, and it's not gonna work the same. So weight is important, especially when you're practicing. So we'll put that in the practice section. Okay, so those are some of the accessories. Also, another thing that's not really an accessory, it's a part of your clothes, which I already showed you guys, is your sleeve. With the sleeve being up like this, it's pretty much out of the way. It's inconceivable. Most sleeving, you have to be here and do like a snap motion, and then you got this hanging thing here. The beauty of glitch is that it's here, and it slides down, and it's completely out of sight, so you're done. And when you want to use the sleeve to retrieve it, you lift the sleeves up further, and in lifting up this sleeve, you finger palm it out just like that. So then you could actually use it as a holdout, get it out in your natural actions, and retrieve it from somewhere else. Like, oh, there it is. You know, you could do that if you want to. So those are the accessories. Again, I'll give you a list at the end. Again, also make sure your sleeve is a little bit loose enough just to get a coin to slide in there, but not loose enough to where it just keeps wanting to go and you get lost in your shirt. If that is the case, if you do have a very loose fitting, you could probably take a rubber band, put it around there, and kind of fold this over, and that'll give you just the mouth you need right there in order to perform glitch and have it not get lost up in your shirt. So, with that in mind, I'm going to show you guys some routines, some transpositions, a couple changes and vanishes, coin to shoe, some fun stuff that you guys are going to learn with glitch right now. So here's a quick effect for you guys that you saw in the demo. A lot of people responded to and liked a lot. This is the coin to key, quarter to key. So you take out a quarter, just like this, fairly, right in your palm, just like that. It changes, just like that. That is the quarter to key. Credits for this go to Justin Miller, who handed me a key and said, change the quarter to a key. So we did that.
He never would have
and
came up with it unless I said that.
right, I mean, he's like, boom. This is actually his key too, believe it or not. I'll show you guys that exactly what happened.
Believe it or not. Like,
Believe it or not.
Like someone's gonna die.
And the coin, actually, if you guys notice now, I have the bracelet on, which is very helpful for glitch. It actually acts as a holdout too. So when I want the quarter back, I just use gravity for that. What you're gonna do is start out with the key in a finger palm for Ramsey subtlety. Make sure that it's oriented this way, just like that. You don't want to have to curl your fingers too much. You can relax a little bit. When you're here, relax, and you're going to get to a point, again, like where you can see it. It's going to be Ramsey subtlety. So you want to just kind of find that spot right there. You're also going to cheat the quarter. Okay, I'll show you what I mean in a second. You borrowing the quarter just like this, your finger, what? The key and finger palm like this allows your hand to look very natural from the back. They're not going to suspect anything. Borrow the quarter from somebody. You have this already. You get this out of your pocket. Ask them for change. Maybe you guys got any change? No. You get a quarter. You grab a quarter from somebody. And the display is real subtle, but it looks like you show everything front and back completely empty. The fact that you're holding the quarter in this hand first, you bring it up, show this hand empty, take it from this hand, show the quarter, and as you're showing this quarter, your hand just kind of naturally comes to this position right here. You have the key, obviously, in your Ramsey subtlety, and you're going to put this right here, and what I like to do is I like to tilt it up. Notice how it's kind of on display. The quarter is like, it's against the pad of my thumb, so it looks, you can see it better. I mean, it catches your eye more. If I put it in my palm, you're going to lose the effect. But you get it right here. This also actually helps with the glitch move itself, the fact that it's right there. And this is going to be hard to do slow, but I'm going to turn to the side and show you guys exactly what's happening. Quarter here, key here. When you do glitch, they're just going to jump back. And this is going to want to slide back here. If it doesn't go all the way down, that's okay. You'll see what happens in a second. When you pick the key up, your hand can come up like this, and as it turns forward, it actually pockets itself right there. I'll show you where to get this exact same one, because this has adjustable straps. What I did was I tightened the bottom one and loosened the top one, so it actually has this little cone effect right here. So that's that. It's also acting as a holdout for me later. But to them, the coin just turned into a key. You're free to move. I could even drop this hand down. I could show both hands empty. And because of the way I'm holding my wrist, that coin's not going to come out until I want it to. So that is coin to key. Credits to Justin Miller for that particular magic effect of glitch. Hey, again for the coin to key effect, if you don't, this isn't necessary. This is a preference. If it doesn't fit your style, that's fine. You don't need one of these S&M fetish buckles for pleasure on your wrist to do this. You could use the sleeving method, which is not really sleeving because it's so out of sight and out of mind that people can't figure it out. But just going through the same motions again. You have this in your finger palm Ramsey subtlety, show everything empty. Put it on display. Make sure your quarter, the bottom of your sleeve is open enough to accept that quarter, and just do the glitch move, just like before, and you could end up with a sleeve version just like that. Everything's done. You keep your hand up here. Don't drop it down to your side yet. Give them the key. Heats off. Lift your sleeves up. Clean up just like that. Retrieve it out, and you're completely clean. Stole it in finger palm. Go to your pocket, do whatever you want, effects over. So it's not necessary to have that buckle. It's just a personal preference that I like to do because I always have it on my wrist. If you do have it and you wish to sleeve with that on, you could still do that by making both straps loose, and that will actually act as a channel for it to slide down and continue down into your wrist or into your sleeve, just like that. So, I mean, if no one ever questions this thing, if they do, you could take it off and it's all the way up your sleeve anyway. So, different things for you to work with for your own preference. Not everybody wears one of those, so I don't expect you to have to think that you have to use that to do this effect. Just practice a lot. It is a little harder to get it down here. It's more of a balance issue. You want to be able to see the coin slide down, and you're going to make sure that it's open enough to retrieve it, just like that. And at the same time, when you practice, you're going to want to also incorporate this, the dropping of the key. So, again, practice. That's everything that I can tell you. Practice, pay attention to the weight. That is coin to key. Yeah. Okay, guys, here's another effect. This is a little transposition that you can use with glitch. This is the second effect besides the vanish that I came up with. It's like one of the first things I kind of did with it once I realized the potential of glitch. And the cleanup is credited to JM, which has a very nice little move to clean everything up at the end. You guys get to see that. Quarter. Just do it like this. Is the glitch transpo with the JM cleanup dump switch. So here's what you get. You start out with 2 quarters. You're going to keep the one in your right hand finger palmed, and that's going to get ready for the Ramsey subtlety. Let me touch on that for you guys right now. I know I used it with the key and everything. So Ramsey subtlety basically is the same position as your glitch, as the performance of a glitch. You're a waiter holding a tray. You're showing your palm, and you're at about this angle. The only difference is your fingers are going to be slightly curled, just like that. Curled just enough so that if their eyes are a laser beam, they're going to see this and miss this. So if you took a string from their eyes and held it over, if this is hidden and the string doesn't touch that, they're not going to see it. So keep that in mind, and you want to work with it. You want to, again, it's like focusing a camera or adjusting a camera or focusing or tuning a guitar. You're gonna just kind of go over and back and play with that in the mirror, and then you get that sweet spot where your hand looks as natural as it can be, but you have that coin hidden from them. So that's going to go into that, again, with muscle memory from the finger palm position when you're about to start the effect. So you can borrow a quarter for this. You could use a dime, penny, whatever you're comfortable with. Play with each. I'm liking the weight of quarters right now, so we'll use quarters. You can, again, use the subtlety of showing these hands empty. You come here, you come away with this hand stays empty, this hand comes here, and just put this down just like that. Break it up into 2 parts for you. They're going to happen simultaneously. So you're going to jump back with your glitch, and your Ramsey subtlety coin is going to jump forward. And you want to time them together to where they simultaneously jump and come out into display at the same time. And the jolt and the action is going to be about the same because the quarter weighs the same in each hand. So just get used to that. Now you're in a position for JM's cleanup move, which is this quarter is right here in palm position, right here ready to be palmed, and your other quarter is resting right on the back of your wrist in that hidden position or up against your watch, depending on if you are sweating or you licked your wrist. Again, this palmed coin, you're going to fake toss it, but you're actually going to palm it in that tossing action. You could do a little adjustment. If it doesn't land right, you want to scoot it down right into that spot to where you can palm it. And you're going to dump it, and you're going to do like a shuttle pass. You're going to dump it, and at the same time, you're going to allow this to drop and come into display. So it's going to look like you just took this coin and and dumped it right in your wrist, just like this. And then this hand could drop, and you have the quarter here. You have all the time in the world to ditch this whenever when you hand this out, or keep it in palm, which is a better idea because then there's no heat. You know, wait for the offbeat and then get rid of it. Or reach in your pocket, take out a deck of cards, ditch it then. You guys know the drill. So that is the glitch transpo. Have fun with it. Play with it. Try different coins, different weights, different sizes, and stick with them. Guys, have fun with that. Glitch transpo. For those of you guys who, or girls who, would like to change one coin into another coin visually in the palm of your hand openly, here's something that you guys can do. I'll actually show it to you and then teach it to you guys as well. We'll do it with this penny. I'm actually going to go lefty on this. I'm going lefty. I'm switching it up.
Wow.
Penny. Lefty. You guys can see it. Got it on level display. If I just blow, it actually changes to a dime. Now, had I done a different sleeving method, I could have done that. But that is a coin change. Let me show you guys. Again, if you notice, I use the watch for this. You have the option to use the sleeve as well. If you want to use the sleeve, again, pennies and dimes are harder to ride. So if you want to use them, it's gonna want to stick. Again, I just make sure you put the baby powder there, and you should get a better slide down so you could end clean that way. Or if you're using the strap on, or if you're using the wrist strap, you can just let it fall into there, and you're just as good. But basically, real simple. Again, one starts in finger palm. I like to finger palm a small coin on my ring finger. It gives me better angles, I feel like, than this finger, because if there's a window here, they might catch a little silver. But over here is safer for me with the palm. That's a preference. We can even open it up a little more for you guys. So that's where you want to be. Again, you come into that from muscle memory with from a finger palm coming up into this. You could even, if you got a set of balls, you can ask somebody if they have a penny. And Jay, can you take this penny for me? Ask them if they have a penny. If they say yeah, bring your hand up. I say just put it in my palm. And they actually put it in your palm, and you have everything there. And they just did that, so obviously this hand's empty. And then whenever you want to, you glitch it, and then this falls into play. So that's a ballsier way of getting into it. So you don't have to do these displays or anything like that. If you don't want to do that, again, you take the coin with this hand, put it into this hand comes out like this, and this goes into position just like that. And then you're in position to do the glitch. So those are a couple things for you guys to play with. That is the coin transpo. Again, I'm using two coins that are similar in weight, because if I were to use a quarter and this, it's going to feel a little different. You're going to have to just play with it. So try to keep the same weight coins. A quarter and a nickel do work well together. They're close to the same weight. So have fun with that, guys. This effect is my favorite effect with glitch. This is the strongest thing that you could do with glitch. It happens so fast, it's so visual and so impossible that people just fall out. It's one of my favorite openers that I do, and that is a signed quarter or coin to shoe. And this is one of those effects where it happens very fast, which adds to the effect. I mean, a lot of times in magic, you know, sometimes you want it to be slower, you want the anticipation, you want all that stuff to happen. But there's some effects that happen so fast that it adds to the impossibility and it makes the effect even stronger. This is one of them. This is a signed quarter to shoe. I don't have a marker on me right now, but we'll just do this. This is the same quarter. This is a Maryland quarter. You guys can see that. And it happens just like this. They sign it, give it back to you, gone. It's in my shoe. The quarter they just signed is right in my shoe. Now, I don't even have to bend over. They could bend over. My hands are empty right now. I'm just going to grab the tip so you guys can see in there. You guys can see that. Right back there. Maryland quarter. Same quarter they signed in the shoe. There. Clean up. It's there. I point down in my shoe. Hands empty like this. When I kick my shoe off, I'll come to this side. When I kick my shoe off, I'm going to release the quarter out from underneath here with my wrist kind of action. I'm going to let it cup and fall. That's something that you're going to want to get used to and want to practice. You want to feel how tight it is in there. Curl the wrist and let it just fall into that palm right there. At the same time, I'm going to grip my pants like this and take my shoe off. When I take my shoe off, I'm going to allow the quarter to actually drop right into my shoe, and I'm going to do that once the foot comes out and blocks that action. So I drop it, foot comes out, blocks the action of it dropping straight down, and then comes over. And now they see a quarter. Sometimes if it drops, it's going to roll back. Say I'm not gonna bend over or anything. You guys pick it up, check it out. They're going to bend over, pick it out, and that is the same quarter that they just signed. So again, it's practice. It's not easy, but try it. Get used to doing this. Do the glitch. Get used to the retrieval. Again, you can use the sleeve. You do this action. Drop it into your wrist. Use your wrist to drop it. Sleeves come up. And this is something that you want to practice right here. Is taking the shoe out and timing the drop with the shoe and using your body to cover. So when you take the shoe out for the drop, notice how you originally were on this side. I'm going to block that entire shoe and drop with the inside of my leg, just like that. So just make sure no one's on your front and around back. That is signed quarter to shoe. Have fun with that, guys. Peace. Oh, hey guys. The watch. These are scissors, but this is a watch. I'm going to show you guys. This is probably going to be the most common accessory that people have, this size and everything. So I'm going to show you guys a few things to make glitch work with you and with your watch. Again, I actually started learning glitch on my left hand, which was just as easy as my right hand. I feel like most people should probably feel the same way. I'm not ambidextrous or anything special like that. It's just doing a little spaz move with your hand like this. So practice with each, and you should be able to feel it out. But a couple things I want to point out to you guys, and some solutions for those problems, is you use a smaller coin. I'll use a penny here. If you notice, you hear a little click. That little click is, obviously, you don't want that. Something to do for that is I use a piece of electrical tape. Small piece of electrical tape. Black, if your watch is black, yeah. If not, if you have a clear watch and it would look awkward to have a black piece of electrical tape, you could also use clear Scotch tape, and that way it can blend in with any color buckle on the watch. But for me, I will do this. With that piece of tape there, I mean, it looks almost as though it's part of the watch. When you do glitch, it doesn't make any noise. It can hit that, and the sound is deadened. It's deadened. Okay, guys, here's a tip for you. Depending on what effect you'd like to do with glitch, you are either going to want your wrist to be a little sticky or smooth, so you get that sliding action to where it slides down your wrist. If you would like it sticky, again, a little bit of saliva right there. So when you glitch, it's going to want to stick there. And you got some gravity to work with. It's going to stick. You can come up and down. You got some freedom with that. But again, you're kind of left a little dirty unless you have one of the ways of getting out of this or cleaning up or an accessory to help you out. If you would like it to be smooth, or it's hot, or you're sweating, you're in an indoor place, carry around some like baby powder or some absorbent sort of powder, like talcum powder, baby powder, something like that along those lines, to keep your skin dry. And if you treat it with that, you'll get that sliding action. You'll also get a better sliding action, I noticed, with quarters instead of like a light object like a dime. A dime's going to want to stick easier than a quarter will. A quarter has that weight and that momentum to kind of carry that down a little better than the dime would. So play with that stuff. If you want the sleeving and it's sticky out, it's a little humid, get some baby powder, put it in a little sack, a little pouch, and just kind of smooth up your wrist and your arm, and you're good to go.